everybody, and welcome to Book Chat. I'm your host, author Vivian E. Moore. I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend. I know the weather here is just a little bit, for a better term, just a little bit just mushy outside. It's wet, it's raining. At least it's not frigidly cold. The temperature is bearable if you're on the inside, or if you had to be out today, like I did earlier. I made the best of the situation. Actually, when I did get out today, it was before it started downpouring. It was just mostly just a drizzle, but it is sort of just a miserable day. But you know, we have to accept the rain just like we do the sunshine, and just make the best out of the situation. But anyway, I hope that you're having a good day despite of that. And so before we get started with the show, of course, I always want to give out some of the URLs. So if you want to take this opportunity and go and get you something to write with and something to write on, we will get started with these URLs. So if you're ready, raise your hand. All right, here we go. The first one, of course, is to my Spreaker account, and that one is https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian E. Moore. You can also check me out on Facebook. That is https://www.facebook.com/author Vivian E. Moore. You can also follow me and like me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is God's Property 46. You can also check out my Instagram page. That's where I upload all the information for the weekly shows. And that one is https://Instagram.com/God's Property 51. I would love for you to check out my lovely website, which is at https://vivianmoore.wixsite. That's wixsite.com/author Vivian Moore. And please do check out my blog. That is updated weekly as well, and that is vivianmoore.blogsite.com. You can also check out the recorded version of the show on iTunes, and also you can check it out on iHeartRadio. So those are all of the social platforms where you can get the show. If you miss it live, you can always listen to the recorded version of the show. All right, so now that we have all of those things out of the way, let's move on to today's show. The title of today's show is called A Stitch in Time, and the topic is what makes writers tick. I know that's a question that a lot of people want to ask, because from a writer's standpoint, I know that sometimes that our thoughts are pretty weird, but I just thought that I would give you just a little insight into our little magical world, and so that way you can understand us better. But anyway, you know, like the intricate parts of a clock, our inner workings are equally complex, with inspiration and ability performing much like the mainspring and pendulum of a timepiece. As the gears of our minds turns, this produces energy, which causes our brains to go into that creative mode. The desire to become a writer is something that it hails deep from within the psyche. It is an overwhelming force that demands our time and attention. It is a source of power that it's infused with our DNA, and it outlines our future, our goals, and it signifies what the outcome will entail. It is essentially what makes us tick. Writers were created with essential elements structured, parts that governs our abilities, and it controls how we think and process information. One of the key factors is imagination. As humans, we all came equipped with them, and how we use our creative gene is geared toward our individual talents. Inspiration is another characteristic of a writer and key to what makes us tick. We seek stimulation from many sources, and it is also helpful to enact our abilities to see situations from a totally different perspective than the average mind's eye, just to become better and more critical thinkers. To understand that our specific gift, it allows us to be adventurous during this mode of creation, and it teaches us how and when to use our creative licenses to embellish in a way that strengthens instead of taking away from the scope of what we are trying to design in the overall scheme of things. We want and need to be inspired so that we can formulate ideas as a way to express our thoughts openly during this creative process. Motivation is also a powerful tool. It's a necessity in every aspect of an author's daily life. Without it, our creative juices, they dry up and they die before we even get the opportunity to develop them into their full potential. Basically they just become glimpses of what could have been a great story. We have a sense of accomplishment, not to take anything away from anyone else who has also have goals, but this is the impetus of our inner workings that won't allow us to quit, until the job is complete. Power is another focal point of what makes a writer tick. Honestly, we love it. Within our hands lies the ability to create, to destroy, to wield judgment like a sword, and often and offer redemption as if it is ours to use at our will. We are self-motivated forces of nature, self-aware, enthusiastic when it comes to our creativity, and most importantly, prepared. Who we are and what we do has an invigorating purpose. We set goals to aim toward and try our best to reach. In many ways, our quest to reach our audiences help us to expand and extend our scope of what to write about while also meeting demands of our fan base. Remember, only what we do earnestly will endure. And folks, that's all that I have for today's show. I just wanted to give you just these few words of inspiration because it's important in whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're writing or, just trying to live from day to day. We all need inspiration in our lives, and we need to try to get it from whatever source that we can. But, a lot of people have asked me for the reason why I wanted to do this show, what goes on inside of your head when you're writing, because they're trying to understand how the thought process works as far as creating these characters and creating the dialogue that go along with these characters. They want to know how all of that works. And, and like I said, this show is only 15 minutes. So it would take longer than that for me to basically just give a total overall picture of how it all works. But today's show was just it was just a soundbite really to just give you just a little glimpse into how our mind works as writers, what makes us tick as writers, what motivates us to be writers. That's the thing that I wanted to focus on today mostly, was what motivates us to do what we do, and not necessarily our thought process as it comes to creating stories. But I have done other shows that is relative to today's show, as far as how we go about story creation and things of that nature. But, because it's involved, it really is involved. There is a lot of steps involved with doing all of this. But basically, I just wanted to just touch on how we get started with our process of creating these stories. So it's just something that's built inside of us. It comes along with us doing the creation. When we were created, that's inside of us already. As I said, everyone has imagination. It's just what you do with it, that makes all the difference. So, I choose to use my imagination to create things, and also to inspire other people to be creative, because I think that that's important, as human beings, is to uplift others. If we can, to speak positive things instead of negative things into this world, because Lord knows there's enough of that already circulating around, that I wish that we could just wipe away, just spray something in the air like we do to get rid of insects, just to evaporate it, to just get rid of it. But, I know that that's not going to happen, but this is a way to combat all of the negativity that's flowing around, to surround yourself with positive things and positive thoughts and positive people, because truly it does make the world go around. Things move a whole lot smoother and a whole lot better when you have positive situations around you. And so that is one of my goals for 2018, is to offer words of positivity, to uplift, to motivate you. Mostly that's what I want to do. I want to motivate you to action, to do things, to think better, to use your imagination in a creative way. You may not have it within you to be a writer, but there is something in you that you can do with that imagination that God has given you. And that's what I want you to do. Whether it's helping somebody, reaching out, whatever it is, just think about it and just let that marinate, and eventually it will resonate in you, and then you can share it with someone else. But also I want to mention, and I always do this, of course tomorrow's worship day, and I want you to do something for me for 2018. Take a loved one to church with you. Take a friend, take a neighbor, take someone who may not have that relationship with the Lord, who may not know the word, but they have that itching in their hearts to know more and more about it. So, I don't want to say challenge you, but I want to just to motivate you to do this for 2018. Just tell another person, tell one person, and then that person can tell somebody else. That's how it starts. It's like paying it forward, so to speak. So that's what I want you to do for me. And also remember to tell somebody that you love them, because today may be the only opportunity you get to say that. I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear the sound of my voice, God bless you and goodbye.